Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today on YOUCANIC we have an S550 Mercedes-Benz or S-Class, and we have the V8 motor, and we're going to go over how you'd replace the spark plugs and or coil packs. There's one coil pack per spark plug, and this is a V8, so we have 8 coil packs, and there would be 8 total spark plugs to be replaced. We're just going to go over the procedure of how you would do that and to do so forth. So you need to remove this cover, and you need to remove this. So to remove this cover, you just got to pull it up and pull it out. There are clips here, and this little thing goes right in there, and that way it holds down. And it's got 2 grommets up the front here that hold on with these little tabs here. So that's been removed. We'll set that aside. So once you've removed that and you've set it aside, then we want to pull this part off, and you can either undo these 2 air inlet connectors right then, or what you do is up top here, it's not on the video, what you do is up top here you've got this little clip. Works well if you just take any type of screwdriver or whatever, and you're just going to pop that clip off. Hold it down. And you can pull this up, and then you can really just rock it out there. And so there were these 2 connectors, and this hose line here goes in right there. Right? So we're going to set that aside. With that set aside, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the same over here of a 4, and those are your coil packs, right? This is actually fairly open, so it's going to be quite easy. So we've got these located here. There are 2 bolts to be removed on each coil pack, and this electrical connector. This electrical connector and 2 bolts on each coil pack, and there's 8 of them total. Previous models of this motor, because of the way the engine bay came, these would be a lot harder to remove, but this is pretty open now. That at least the way this one is mounted is pretty open, so it's all going to be fairly easy. But you just repeat the process for all 4 on this side, and then all 4 on the other side, of a total of 8. So for me to start with, they're just going to undo this connector, and this is just a simple pull it back a little bit, and you'll hear a little click button, and then just pull. So you hear that click when you undo that. Then you also, if you just kind of push on the back, let's do that again. So you unclicked it, push on the back, and pull the connector undone. All right, and we just kind of set that to the side there. Then we're going to undo these 2 bolts here. Which are T30s. And then just pull straight up. And it'll pop off there. And this is the coil pack. Like I said, we repeat this process. We're going to go ahead and take that spark plug out. So you get an extension and your spark plug socket. which is to be a 5/8 size spark plug socket. Once you got the spark plug all loose, so just yeah, so a typical spark plug has a rubber gasket inside of it that will grip onto the spark plug itself and pull it out. Mine happens to be missing, so you can use a magnet and pull your spark plug out. It's in there. And then we checked to see that there was there's no oil in the bottom of that, so that's a good sign. It was never leaking past the spark plug. And so then you just take your new one and you can lower it back in with your magnet and get it to line up in the hole, and you can tighten it a little bit. Alright, and then just put your spark plug socket in there and tighten her up. And you just want to make it good and snug. You want to make sure you smash that crush washer in there so that no gases get past it and no oil. It's like a 20 torque or spec, but just good snug, not over crazy tight. So then you take your coil pack, your new coil pack, and then reinsert it. Or not reinsert it, but push it in. Let's get that rubber seal on it. Then line up the bolts there, and then just tighten them down. T30s. And last, you want to make sure that you hook your electric back up so that the spark will work. And this, you just push it on, line it up, push it on, and push this gray clip up until it snaps into place. And then that is your double safety that that's gonna stay on. And you will repeat that process for the 7 more, so the total of 8 times, replacing all the spark plugs and coil packs. If you're going to place some coil packs, a couple things you're going to look at with your coil pack is if you have a misfire, it's most likely the coil pack, and you'll be able to know most of that from your check engine light and reading the codes with the code reader, and it'll tell you essentially which cylinder is misfiring. And so you'll know which ones you need to replace or not need to replace. But it's always sometimes a good thing after quite a few miles on your vehicle, you just go ahead and replace them all. It does add up to be a costly expense because of the price of the coil packs and the spark plugs all together. But as you're doing it yourself, you're definitely saving a lot of labor time. But once you've got those all done, and you've done this side and you've done the other side, you know, of doing just the spark plugs or doing the spark plugs and the coil packs, then you're just going to go ahead and put the air cleaner piece back on. So the same thing, you're just going to put the right direction. You're going to line up that little grommet cover that goes over where the So I line this up. And this hose, we've got arrows to make the markings there. Push that together. And we want to make sure that there's a rubber housing up here that goes over the mass airflow. I want to make sure that that's lined up. And then there were the grommets. It's on a previous instruction that we line up with this. Press it all on. Make sure you lock that clip on. And then go ahead and put any other remainder air intake pieces back together. That may have been removed for ease of access. So those are all put on. And then the last one is to just take this, put it into the clips there, and lock it into place. And that's how you replace your spark plugs, coil packs, you name it, on an S-Class Mercedes-Benz, and this is an S550. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.